the hot and sultry Cara Carriveau. We recorded, and then of course it all screwed up. So we're doing it again. You have a legitimate Wikipedia page.
I do.
That I love very much. You have worked at every single radio station in Chicago, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
seems like it. I mean, I did traffic. So at one point, I probably at least done a traffic report.
Right.
not-
For stations that, yeah, you probably, is there any station that you wanted to work for that you never got to?
No, because
yeah.
I literally checked off my checklist, which leaves me in a kind of a weird place now. Like, what's next? Because I
Right. What do you do next?
hit all the stations I love.
You are, to me, I think you're Chicago's radio goddess, like of anyone. And you've been able to stick around.
Thanks.
I mean, you've like, I'm sure you grew up with like Patty Hayes,
Mhm.
right? And she was like a huge, and she's gone. And then
Yeah.
like for me, it was Karen Hand on B96. And I
Mhm.
kind of was like, that was one of my goals, is I want to kind of
Yeah.
emulate that in some way. I mean, you can't be someone else.
Right. I know what you
But
mean.
that was one of like, so I got to do that, right?
Yeah.
Top 40 mornings, doing news and stuff. And then I was a huge fan of Coco Cortez.
Yes,
And
I know.
yes, Anna.
It's great.
And one day, when I was working at KISS, she came in and I had to train her to fill in for me. It's that weird moment
Yeah.
where the people that you looked up to are now like you're training them.
Yeah.
It's
Weird.
like, this is weird.
Yeah. I've always really admired Wendy Snyder, actually.
Oh
and
gosh.
I
Yeah.
get so excited whenever I rarely have I run into her, but the few times, her and her husband for that matter, I think he's awesome too. So it's
Yes. I
it's a
worked
trip.
with her husband at the river, but a few times, like I had done when I was doing the GN thing near the end, I got to like do, traffic and stuff for
I guess that's
her
one
shit.
station I've never been on, JoAnn.
I finally got to do that. That was like one
Yeah.
of the last ones that I did, because I was doing one of those services where you do all across the country, and I was juggling 21 radio stations across the country. It was a lot. And then that agency went out of business, and so that's just how it works sometimes. Okay, so you are from West Bloomfield, Michigan. That's where you did radio there, and you graduated, and then you were at the WABT, WABT in Dundee, and that is the super coolest. And you were also the program director. But did I ask you if you wore the WABT mascot outfit? Did you wear the thing?
I never had to wear it, but when I became PD, when I interviewed interns, I would size them up because I knew if you were between like 5'10" and 6 foot, you fit
it was
the costume
that
real
big.
well.
It was that big.
Yeah, if you were tall, you absolutely got an internship, no question.
Okay, so that was if you fit the suit. I love that.
One time though, we did an appearance, and the guy wearing the intern, he almost died. It was awful. Like
did he overheat? Like,
well, no, we were in the water for something. Like it was some kind of a jet ski thing, and he fell in the water, which wasn't even that deep. But when that
in the
costume
WABT
gets
suit,
wet, it's heavy.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
And
Yeah.
there's a thing over his head. Oh God, it was awful. Yeah.
Oh my God. That's a
It's
whole
funny
insurance.
to think about it now, but it was bad. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the insurance, right?
Uh-huh.
But I think maybe was there insurance on that thing? Who knows?
I don't know.
You have a super duper cool podcast, one of the coolest ever, because you've interviewed every like rock star, and so it's called Cara's Basement. It's from 2007 to 2018.
Yeah.
And Eddie Money, you said, was the last one.
I think so. Either him or Barry
A couple
Manilow.
weeks before.
Yeah, he died not long after. I mean, I was sad. Oh, he's such a great. I've interviewed him before too at the Loop. He was a great guy. Great guy.
Yeah, Barry
He always
Manilow.
acts like you're a buddy. Like
Yeah,
who he's talking to.
he did something for us when we did that 80s channel thing, and he did like a big event for us, like, it was like a concert thing. Rick Springfield, anybody that was like big in the 80s, obviously they kind of came through, and that was one of the exciting things. I got to introduce Rick Springfield. You know what I mean? Like
Nice.
out on the wherever he was playing, somewhere in Aurora, or one of these like smaller gigs, but there's still a stage and a bar kind of thing.
I interviewed him for my podcast, and I don't know if you've ever seen the show Californication.
Yes, I have.
So he was on there playing a bad version of himself. It was fantastic. There's this one scene. It's a three-way between Rick, the other character, and this girl. It's so funny. It's a sex scene, but it's hilarious because one of the guys is eating a sandwich while everything's going on, which probably is a male fantasy. So I actually got to ask Rick Springfield about that scene.
Right.
I had just seen it right before I talked to him. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm asking Rick Springfield about a three-way and eating a sandwich during it. Like, what?
Yeah. We had some guitar, and then we had some guitar contests where he signed the guitar, that kind of thing. And then, so then I think it was Joe's on Weed Street, maybe it was that.
It sounds like you play there.
My cousins came, and so when we were little, we would listen to, I don't know, not LS, but it would be like Z95 and everything. And so we had the album and what was the one with the dog on the cover? The
Working Class Dog.
Thank you, Working Class Dog. And so I had spent that summer that was popular with my cousins. And so I called up my cousins. I said, you guys want to meet Rick Springfield? They're like, wah! And so, And so because we had the VIP, I got to, take him up there. And he was really nice. He was like, we have photos of us all with like, hey, Rick. Yeah. But if you want Jesse's girl, shouldn't you learn her name? Because he's only referring to her as the property of Jesse.
Yes.
So, like, if you actually wanted to get her, then learn her name. It's just what I'm saying.
That's probably why he never got Jesse's girl.
Exactly, because he didn't bother to learn her name. He only knew of her as the extension of his friend Jesse.
I also interviewed Linda Hamilton. That was his first. They were lovers. Like they were each other's first true love. Like, apparently, at least that's
really. Adamant, you did. You interviewed like absolutely everyone. So your podcast is Cara's Basement, carasbasement.com, right? Mm-hmm. And just everyone, Violent Femmes. Like, what do you ask the Violent Femmes?
I love that band.
I do too, but I'm saying, like,
so I asked a lot about Milwaukee, but their drummer plays. Have you ever seen the Violent Femmes play?
Not live.
He plays a Weber grill. It's fantastic. It's the most cool.
He plays it?
Like, literally, that's his drum set. So it's awesome. They're just so you don't even need that. Just get out your grill.
I like it. I love that. I did get to the some of the photos that you had sent me that are so fantastic. But you're fantastic, Cara, and you are still working in radio. I love that. I love that. Your favorite musical artist, you said, show me.
Prince.
And so you got that right after he died?
The day after he died. I have a couple other tattoos, and my tattoo artist sent an email out going, hey, $20 special. I'm like, cool, I'll do it. And I put together this long mixtape so that while he's doing the tattoo, I can listen to Prince. I only got through halfway through one song because it's such a quick, easy tattoo. That part disappointed me. I'm like, I thought I was going to listen to Prince for hours.
Oh, so you didn't even get to sit there and Purple Rain.
Right, exactly. I listened to half of DSMR, Dance Music Sex Romance, like that one.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay. So what would be that song? But what else is on that one?
That's on Purple Rain. So AUTOmatic, is that on that? I don't know.
I had 1999. I had the Raspberry.
Maybe it's 1999 that it's on, actually.
Diamonds and Pearls. I had that one. And I saw Prince in concert twice. I got to see it. Actually, that was, well, I don't want to say this because don't they usually ask that as a password question? What was your first concert?
Oh, yeah.
But Love Sexy, I think, what was that, 87?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was my first concert.
Prince earlier. I saw him a couple times, but
yeah,
I don't think I saw him until probably 15 years ago. And then I did see him the last time he was here. I actually not only saw him one night, then we got tickets for the second night last minute. Like, it was after I got home from the first concert.
Yeah.
And they released more tickets and I got second row. Like, face value. Fantastic. Just, I couldn't believe it. And then we also managed to get into the House of Blues after show. So it was like a Prince.
Oh, so he was right there.
So much Prince in 2 days.
So too much Prince. Yeah.
The sun was up when I was headed home. So it was
absolutely. But he was one that you never got to interview, right?
No, I never did.
Like, you've interviewed absolutely everyone, but not.
Yeah, would have loved to. Although I did date a guy that met him, so that's close.
Do you have a favorite Prince song?
Oh, there's so many. You know what? I want to
like
be your
Alphabet
lover.
Street.
I love that
7.
song.
Oh,
so
Want to Be Your Lover. I love 7. I think that's a great track. And I like Alphabet Street. I find myself still throwing that into rotation. And nothing against Purple Rain, although if you watch the movie, oh my gosh, that was like so abusive.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Back, like, what? And then he I'll show her for staging me. Like,
it was awful. Yeah.
Awful.
But yet the music was so freaking good.
Oh, right. And so nothing against Purple Rain. It's just that I feel like it's been sort of like played to death. It's
right.
Sort of an obvious go-to. But in that whole album. But I would say like Alphabet Street, and I still like that. And then Pop Life. Pop
Oh
Life
yeah, that's a good one.
from the Beret album. Oh, I love
And
Pop Life.
I like Head. The
Oh, I don't know
song.
if I know that one.
Oh,
Do
it's
I?
dirty. It's good. And Cream.
Mm, with sugar on top.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what was your first album?
My first, probably the Monkees, I think.
Right.
I mean, I have a different memory of like going to the record store and buying other stuff, but I think that was probably given to me, the Monkees.
The Monkees. Do you remember which
Yeah.
one?
I have all of them, so I don't know which one was first. I do know I ordered one double collection COD from a TV commercial that pissed off my mom.
Okay. And
But-
so do you remember the Columbia records and tapes? Did you do that all the time?
Yep.
My dad was part of like the original, like back when they started doing it in I don't know,
really?
60s or something. So my dad had so many record albums. I mean, so many, but
Yeah.
they ended up getting ruined in a flood. And so
Oh,
there's that one Elvis one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's if it unfortunately had mold on the record.
Oh, that's a drag.
Otherwise, it would have been worth like $500.
Yeah.
But it had warped and it was moldy. But it was that one that's worth like $500-600. And my
when I
dad
used to
had
keep my
it.
records in the basement, I was always so worried about that.
Yeah. Now I told you my first album was Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Yes.
But prior to that, but that was the first one like I saved up for personally to purchase. And so and every Sunday after church, to kind of bribe me to go to church, my mom would then say, well, if you go to church, we can go to Kmart on Roosevelt Road after church and you can get a 45. So I had tons of 45s. And remember, you would go to like the record store or like Kmart and they would have like the printout of the top 40 songs.
Yep.
And then they would have the little records. And so I had tons of 45s, but it was Pink Floyd's The Wall that I saved up to get. And then my mom took me to like lunch and I took the plastic off and, here it is, the brick wall, the white wall, you open it up and there's the giant butt. And she went, what on earth is this? But I was listening to that at like 6 or 7 years old. Now I'm not a huge Floyd fan and Dark Side of the Moon is to me, but The Wall was a huge one at that time, you know. And then
We Don't Need No Education. That was probably huge for
exactly
any kid. Yeah.
And then I like rock operas. So I like Meatloaf a lot. And I like, do you remember the movie Streets of Fire? Do you remember that movie? Streets of Fire. It had Diane Lane and it was like a whole, the most popular song from that is I Can Dream About You from Dan Hartman.
Oh, I know that song.
But it's the rock opera stuff that I really liked. Oh. So I'm all into that stuff. And then Queen Night at the Opera. That was the other one that I had. And like every song on there, I must have listened to. Okay. Oh, I was going to show where I have you. Well, let's start with your photos and then I'll show you the autograph that you gave me because you were so kind. All right. So here's Hottie McCara.
Honey McCara.
That's you. You look super hot here. And so, and you were telling me how you had to pose, right?
Yeah. It looks like I'm standing facing the camera straight on. This is my hands on my hips.
Yeah.
I'm actually turning my hips, my body. So like from the waist down, turning so that my right leg was facing forward.
And does that pump up the boobs or what does that do?
Turning so much I was uncomfortable.
Okay.
But they're like, this is what Britney Spears does. That's why she looks so skinny. I'm like, no, Britney Spears does a lot of sit-ups.
So what year was this? What year was this?
This, well, I was at the Loop. This is probably around 2000, 2001, 2002, maybe.
Okay. And then
maybe 2003. I don't know.
For She FM.
Yeah.
She is that how they called it?
She.
Right. Yeah. And then it was The Point. And it was also.
It was, well, I worked there. It was She. Before She, it was Chicago's 100.3. Before that, it was Rewind. Before I was there, Fresh. It was The Point. It was Windy.
That was the weird one that everyone made fun of.
Yeah.
They were like, Windy. Ew, it sounds like it sounds like farts. Okay. Oh, so here is your autograph. This is when I was an intern, and this is when I interned at the Loop, and you signed my sign. And what did you write? You read it.
Good luck in all you do. Hint, stay out of radio if you dig money.
That is so fantastic.
I can't believe I wrote that.
I did. And
1995. I did mornings with Kevin Matthews in 95. So that must have been.
And so I was the intern, but I interned for everyone that went through there. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so do you remember Fecal?
No, it seems like I would.
Yeah. There was a guy Fecal, and then there was a Swanee.
Yeah, Swanee I worked with. There.
And then I'm trying to think of who else. But I'm an intern, so I don't like at the time. But can I tell you a story though, real quick?
Absolutely.
I walked in Kevin Matthews, because Kevin Matthews he's very quiet when he's not on the air, and he's very different He's
Yep.
shy.
Yeah.
But when he's on the air, he's multiple personalities and
Right.
gym shorts and the whole thing. And so that I was sent in, he called me in and he was very quiet. And he said, do you think you could get me some coffee? And I was like, yeah. And so that I went and I got him the coffee. I came back in. And when I put it down, he didn't know I was in the room. It was like when the on-air mics, you sneak in. And he let out like a huge fart.
Oh my God.
When I was standing behind him. That was one thing I do remember. And I was like, I was like, this shouldn't be part of the program.
Very good.
I did everything. They also put me in a room where I had to rearrange all of Jonathan Brandmeier's reel-to-reels for like 6 days because they had.
That's funny. When I interned at Riff in Detroit, they put me in a little room. All their albums were in a room. We'd alphabetize everything. I was in the S's for like 2 days.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Awful.
All the reel-to-reel. So imagine me standing there and they're like this big and they're all in. And it was Brandmeier's and Kevin Matthews. All of their reel-to-reels had been moved in the Hancock. And they said, figure this out. And then they moved them again. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that again. If you guys can't move them in a former, because, they had to put them in like a room that wouldn't melt them, that would be air conditioned and all of that. Cara, this is you interviewing Jason Mraz.
In a Porta-John, because why not?
This
was at the Mag Lights Festival. So cold, very cold day in November. In fact, I still can't believe he played guitar because his fingers had been frozen. But
sure,
this is before he played, and it was very cold and very loud. So it was warmer and quieter inside the Porta-John. So that's where we got her done.
I love that.
It was my first interview for the mix too. I'm like, this isn't a little nerve-wracking.
I love that. Oh, really? Oh, well, yeah, I guess so. You were, because had you already interviewed everyone?
That's why I started Cara's Basement in 2007. When I was at the Loop, every time anybody came into the station for an interview, I never was picked to interview them. And it drove me nuts. And my husband at the time, he thought it was sexist. He's like, it's because you're a woman. They're picking all the guys. I'm like, well, they're just picking everybody else. And they're guys. But so I don't know if that was it or not. But and I'm like, well, maybe I suck at interviewing. How would they know? So I started the podcast to see if I did suck, but get better at it. And it's sure enough, I did get better. You teach yourself how to do things. And I hate listening to interviews from people who know more than who they're talking to or know more than their listeners. Yeah. So the producer on your third album, right. I'd rather know like what you had for breakfast. I don't I agree.
Care. Right. That's a bit deep. That's a bit much.
Like some of the best interviews I've done, honestly, I haven't been particularly prepared for, but I have it in my head where I'm going, but because it's not a natural conversation.
Exactly.
And I like hearing natural conversation, but anyway.
Oh, I totally agree.
So that podcast is what got me the mix job. I'm convinced of it because they did want to extend into interviewing and all that. And then they had someone that could do it.
Right, somebody who has those skills. Yeah.
But I was still nervous, and especially because it was my first one with that station. So
But you were always the go-to person. My understanding is you essentially went to every single Lollapalooza.
Yeah, I did for like 10
and
years.
And you were like the person to do the interviews.
Yeah. And now the woman that came after me, she does it. But it was, and I initiated it myself. I had no one helping me out for the first few years. By the last couple of years, it was awesome because we had a whole crew. I'm like, oh my gosh. Better.
Especially right in the early days of Lollapalooza. So that had to be exhausting.
All my equipment and, a couple times when it stormed and they closed, I had to carry my heavy equipment running on Michigan Avenue. It was a nightmare.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that though. Okay. More photos of Cara because she is awesome. Here's you with alphabets. And we don't know if this was actually sent in for some sort of contest.
I just know my brother is a great photographer and he took it. I also don't know if I got the free ball either. But
this is us at a party.
Yeah, that's when I met you. Or
yes.
I met you before, didn't I?
We met a couple times, but I just don't know if we ever really talked that much. Like how radio people are in the same areas.
Clearly, I signed the thing for you, so I must have met you then.
You did back in my internship. But see, Cara, when I was at this party with you, I hadn't seen that poster in years. I didn't know.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? So this is Cara, you, me, and then there's Kitty Lowy.
Well, I idolize. I love her.
And she had taught me when I was at the media school, and I didn't remember her so much, but then once her name, I was like, because she used to do Breakfast with the Beatles, and she was one of my first teachers, and she said, second day in school, she said, if you want to do radio and you want to succeed, do it for because you love it and not for money and fame. Because the truth is, for every person that knows your name or recognizes you, there's going to be 50,000 others who don't know.
I mean, I think that goes for any career, not even just radio.
Exactly.
You
But
should love what you do.
See, now a lot of people know you and you have such a recognizable name and you're recognizable. But the kind of beauty of radio is that you can kind of come and go as you please anonymously, and it's not like its own thing. I mean, it's
now in
its
the
own
days
thing.
of COVID, we don't even have to wear pants, so it's great.
Exactly. We should wear pants though. Okay. Then this is Rob
I should.
Wexler, and he was the guy who got me in. He suckered me into radio.
What's happening on that right picture? Is he
that is a gigantic cigar, and he had some weird lighter. It
Oh.
looks like it's something maybe illegal, but it's substance, but it wasn't. It was just a regular cigar, but he had some weird torch lighter thing at the party. And so he got me into radio. And so I went to the media school, and they make you read your script. And he said, here's the thing. There's not a lot of women that are in this next group for school. He says, I'm going to give you $1,000 off the tuition right then and there. And so I was like, yeah. And then it was between TV and radio. Obviously I didn't want to do TV. My reasoning is because they're brutal to women. They're just brutal about their weight, their looks, their everything. And so we did the TV portion, but I decided radio was for me. Now
I could have been a dancer.
You could have. Well, you were here, and I cringe.
I've got no rhythm. My most proud moment of that picture is the fact that I'm not wearing a bra.
You're not, and they're perky.
Gravity is not like that these days.
And so 14. What's on your head? What is this thing on your
tiara.
head? Here? Okay,
a plastic tiara. I got tassels.
I like it.
I'm sure if it was a full body shot, there was probably leg warmers on my shins.
Do you remember what you danced to?
Something jazzy? No.
No,
might have been Neil Diamond.
Really? It wasn't like What a Feeling from Irene Cara?
You'd think so.
I
was much happier at Rock 103.5 than that picture insinuates.
Look, you look fantastic here. Now, that's a cell phone.
And mom jeans.
And mom jeans, which is fantastic. And the reason I wrote kerplunk sound effect is because I had discussed this, that back with the old boards that weren't so digital, you know, you would still have the slides, but you could hear the kerclunk. And sometimes if you were listening, like in your car, you could hear the jock do blah, 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 you know, Rock 103.5, kerclunk.
Yeah.
Hear that sound effect. And
that might have happened. It happens now to me from home with my mouse.
Does it? That's what the clicking. My kids are running through.
I wonder if Ross Valerie was passed out on me. Maybe he was just kidding. I can't remember.
This is the guy from Journey.
That's Ross Valerie from Journey. This was either right before or right after the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
And this is in Tinley Park after their show. And he had these whole tray of shots, homemade shots that he made. They were Kentucky Derby themed. It's still bugging me to this day what they were, because they were delicious. And we had several. You can tell I look pretty happy.
Yeah.
That was pretty nuts. In fact, I think I was actually on the Jumbotron at that show too.
Oh, very cool. Oh, those are fun. This is you as Rosanna Dana. And you said you were in grade school here?
Yeah. On the left picture, I'm probably 11 or 12, I think. Maybe I'm a freshman in high school. I don't know. But I'm Rosanna Dana from Saturday Night Live. And on the right, that's the Norgie ski jump in Fox River Grove. It's so much fun. And that guy is always there every year.
Is he still?
Honestly, I just sent you the picture because my arms look good.
Do they still do it? They still do it?
I believe so. I'm sure this year everything was probably messed up. But yeah, that was in the fall. Usually it's in the middle of the winter.
Now, this is you eating the side of a banister.
Yep. Because, my parents didn't feed me.
Look at that beautiful hair. Look at
Thank you. My mom always had it up in a bun. I don't know why. Oh, but I was a thinker.
This is you with some tomatoes.
And again, no bra.
And you grow them.
That was my Carrie house. And I had like 8 tomato plants. That's one behind me.
Right.
So I had actually 2 behind me, I see. So yeah, I had tons of tomatoes that summer.
In addition to being like a rock goddess, you get to interview tons of rock stars. And I'm so glad you're still working on the radio. You also are a real estate agent and you grow tomatoes.
I like to garden. Yeah. I'm not as good at gardening now, though. I think that was just better soil or something.
These are your beautiful children.
Yeah.
And you're a hockey mom in addition.
Yes, I am. And I attempted to play that day, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, you do play? I didn't know you played hockey.
I took lessons. I mean, no, I can hit a puck, but I can't skate, which is a hindrance with hockey. Yeah, like in the backyard, Sam used to be a goalie. It was great because I could shoot on him.
Yeah.
But I'm awful. But that was from that same day.
That's fantastic.
But I learned don't kiss your son at the hockey rink. He doesn't like that.
No, not mom.
Yeah, and I took my daughter to work with me. That take your daughter to work day that they always have. And we always had a game we played in the car when a song would come on, I go, "Oh, that's Pearl." She'd go, "Jam." So on the radio, she was on a loop that day, and I would say "Led." She goes, "Zeppelin." I go, "The." She go, "Who?" Like, she.
That's how I remember you having curlier hair
Yes.
when I was an intern. That is what I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, I'm sure it was curly. Yeah, because they didn't have good straighteners like they do now.
Right. This is true. Oh, this is when you married Michael Bublé.
Yes. Yeah.
Your eyes.
Yeah. Clearly, we're infatuated
Absolutely.
with
I
each
mean,
other.
it's a match made in heaven. Beautiful photograph of you and your family.
Thank you. I want to frame this one. I like the colors.
I like it. You
I miss those days of hanging out with the kids
up.
and being in a picture with them because I'm usually the one holding the camera.
Exactly, because you're a mom. Okay, so you and some rock stars, and my Ralph Covert that I love so much. I've seen you interview him a bunch of times, and my family went on I don't know, you wouldn't call us deadheads, but like Ralph heads. Like for 2 years, we went to pretty much everything.
Oh, that's
and then wherever he was in the Midwest, let's say he had like a show in Madison or something, I'd go, oh, look, there's a Ralph concert in Madison at this place. And then we can also have our vacation here for the weekend, which would be House on the Rock, something, we would sort of follow him around, not like weirdos, but do you know what I'm saying? Because we were huge fans when he did all the kids' music. Not just the bad example stuff, right? Okay, so Dee Snider, and then
right, and that's Duran Duran.
So this is not John Taylor; it's
Roger,
and then Simon Le Bon, right?
Yeah, a lot of fun. I was invited to party with them later, and I couldn't because I was on a date and he was too drunk. I was so pissed off. They had a show at the House of Blues.
You have an opportunity.
Got super drunk. He was so drunk. Well, maybe this isn't drunk for him, but he was like going on and on about George Washington. Like, it's a weird.
It's totally normal.
But not for like 2 hours. And then I'm getting these texts going, "Hey, Duran Duran's at Pippin's." I'm like, "What?" Like, that, by the way, little tidbit, that was their favorite place in Chicago.
Oh, Pippin's? Yeah.
Which is my favorite place. I'm like,
bachelorette party.
Yeah.
We spent some time there, but I don't remember it because it was my bachelorette party.
Exactly. He probably doesn't remember.
So you could have hung out and drank with Simon Le Bon. Oh my gosh, it's like every girl's.
I'm still upset about it.
Right. So he won what? Your son won.
He won some tournament. Yeah, we won a lot of tournaments. I love. That's my only vacation for the last several years has been St. Louis or Michigan, wherever there's a tournament.
Then fly out to California. Then come out here.
I would love to
do that. Beautiful photos of your kids here in the sand. The little doggy, which I forgot. Rudy. You told me the dog's name.
Rudy.
Do the fun questions. Name these sheep: Choo Choo and Boo Boo, Crouton and Crumbs, Megan and Harry, or Foxy and Boogers.
I love Megan and Harry, especially with the spelling of Harry.
Okay.
That's so cute.
Bing, bing. Would you rather bowl with a kangaroo, former President Richard Nixon, or these two dogs, Bailey and Champ?
I like the dogs.
I like Richard Nixon because he has passed away. So I would not only be bowling with a former president, I would be bowling with a former president who is now deceased. So it would be the ghost of Richard Nixon. Because you could
he'd be cheating.
He totally would be, but he's not a crook. And then, but a kangaroo, you could do anytime. It's like on Pinterest. They're very strange. Yeah. Would you rather be the lady in the Salvador Dali painting, the Ritz crackers and salami for a Thanksgiving Day spread resembling a turkey, or half-eaten Oreo cookies recreating phases of the moon?
I'm all about the salami and cheese. Yum.
If you were an international spy, what would be your secret spy name? Abacus Impossible, Dr. Brownfinger, Buster Coconut, or Tactical Wolfskins?
It has to be Buster Coconut because that's just funny. I mean, they're all funny, but
who wore it better? Will Smith when he was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or the electronic game Simon?
I had no idea how much that outfit looked like Simon before. He actually looks more like Simon than Simon. I'm picking.
I agree.
Will Smith.
Fun facts. You know what? These are not that fun. Somebody can read them. Okay. Which book title best describes my love life? A Woman of No Importance, Sex Lives of Cannibals, Who Will Toss My Salad?
I'm going to say The Sex Lives of Cannibals.
Bing, 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 bing. What is this chimpanzee's name? Theodore, Frank, Gus, or Roscoe? By the way, there are no wrong answers.
Yeah, this is a hard one. I'm still stuck. I'm going to say Gus, actually.
I'm more
because of the cigar.
That's exactly it. Right. It's
Yeah.
something about like makes him very Gusy, very
Yeah.
Gus-like with the cigar. I agree. Okay, this real advertisement for men's erection pills. What song is this guy playing on his guitar? Now you read the options.
It's either Bungle in the Jungle by Jethro Tull, which is funny. You Can't Have Your Kate and Edith Too by the Statler Brothers, Legs by ZZ Top, or You've Got Another Thing Coming, Judas Priest, which is definitely D. That
Bing, bing,
has
bing,
to
bing,
be.
bing, bing, bing. He's gonna rock your
Although I would have
world.
spelled coming different, but that's me.
I decided, but that is how they spell it. That is how Judas Priest spells it. Okay, who is your dream date or tolerable? We've got Matt here, Gordon, who's his friends call him Gordo, Jeff, or Sean.
Matt
And
looks a
there is
little like
hint.
Johnny Fever, but I'm still going to say Sean. I can't say Jeff because my ex's name is Jeff, and
Sorry.
Gordo's just odd.
I'm going to go for Gordo.
Really?
I do think he's kind of Ben Foldsy. Like there's something about, I don't know, something about him that's like, he seems familiar to me. But
He's
Sean,
wearing odd shoes.
that was the hint down at the bottom that Sean's friends call him Boner. Now, I don't know if that means anything. But that's like his
I didn't even see
nickname.
that. But
Yeah.
yeah, now I definitely thought Sean. Yeah.
Right? If you have a nickname Boner, I feel like that's an
There's a
indication or reason, or you know,
Maybe
who
he
knows?
took the pills from the other ad.
Who wore it better, Ivanka or the Cali Bacon burrito from Del
The
Taco?
burrito. The burrito all the way.
Agreed. Why do you suppose this old-timey man is upset? Because the plague destroyed his family. He just learned he has a hookworm in his tum-tum. His I cannot say that word. Accoutrement shop is going out of business, or the arpenture surveyed his land at a value of 3 shilling and a half penny.
I don't even understand C and D. I'm going to go with A because I would definitely be upset if the plague destroyed my family.
He does look very upset.
Yeah.
Hands on hips and all.
Actually, he looks more mad than upset, but whatever.
You're right. Well, because the plague just destroyed his family.
Yeah.
Whose video was better? Whose video, pun intended. We've got the WHO, the World Health Organization, Arnold Schwarzenegger's video on climate change, or we have the band The Who performing See Me, Feel Me, Listening to You in a video filmed at the Isle of Wight in 1970. I thought it
Definitely
was
got to go with the Who.
I agree, but I thought it was Isle of Wight. But
Yeah,
no
me
matter how
too.
many times I look it up, it's WIGHT. So
Wow.
I may have been saying it wrong.
I'm sure I've said it wrong too.
Since 1970.
Yep.
Who did the best job of creating a cosplay costume for Binky from the Life in Hell comic strip? Sparkle Hemingway, Rabbit De Niro, or David Hasselhoff?
David Hasselhoff all the way. The name and just the way he's dressing and his facial expression, that's so awesome.
I pop my peas. I just pop my peas. Now, what do you do to not pop your peas on the radio?
Well, I have my mic facing sideways. Seems to help.
Yeah, that's
Plus,
what I do.
I mean,
too.
you have one of these covers on it?
I do. I have a nose or cone or whatever you call it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't
What song is playing for these mice? Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult, Caribbean Queen or Caribbean or how do you say it? Is it Caribbean or Caribbean?
No, but he
then
sings Caribbean.
Right.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think he says Caribbean.
You Dropped the Bomb on Me by the Gap Band or Basket Case by Green Day.
See, I say basket case just because Easter basket and they're bunnies and today's
And
Easter.
I thought I was being clever with your name being Cara by
yes.
using the song Caribbean Queen.
And we did do a cruise the Caribbean with Cara promotion.
It is fantastic. Did you do so? Wait, so people? Oh, you hosted an entire cruise?
Yeah, like I took. This is at the Wabbit, the suburban station I worked at. And they came up with this idea, this concept of like which DJ should go. I'm like, well, of course me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Why wouldn't I say me? And then we get there, and I've never been on a cruise before in my life at this point. And we go down to Miami, and I'm supposed to meet the winners. I haven't met them yet or anything. And there's all these big, beautiful cruise ships. They're trying to find the right boat. And as a joke, I'm like, God, I hope we're not that pirate ship at the end. It was this little boat that looked awful.
And
that was a boat. And it was
a whole week.
We get on the boat, and it's the weirdest grouping of people. I found our listeners immediately because everyone else on the boat was very, very old, or they didn't have teeth. It was a carny cruise. It was the annual carny cruise. There was 600 carnies 300 old people and then like 20 of us.
I would have
We had a
loved
blast.
that.
It was really fun.
I would have loved that, being the
Yeah, you
carny that
mentioned
I
you
am.
were a carny.
I am a carny, and we just went to the amusement park. They opened it up here in California. Just went Friday. I told you I was in tears of relief, and I mean, like seriously crying as I'm walking
Yeah.
through the amusement park. And then now I'm going to go again Friday. So it's finally, with the pandemic, things are opening back up. I
Yeah.
feel like a bit lighter, although I'm still holding
Yeah.
on to some stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all
I
are.
think
I mean,
it
I
gave
was
me
ready to cry when I got
PTSD.
my first shot, my first vaccination
Oh,
too.
that's right. You did get the
Yeah.
vaccination. I got it as well, and I got the one shot, and the next day it felt like a truck had hit me. It dehydrated me so
Yeah.
much that my head was throbbing, my body felt weird. It was very uncomfortable, but it just was like 24 hours. So if anybody's getting that shot, it's a doozy. No
Yeah.
doubt
I just
about
had
it.
a sore arm. I would suggest taking ibuprofen.
Yeah. And they had told me that, but sometimes I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm so used to not being comfortable that I'm not
Yeah.
good at, like, I don't know. Which of these albums did you own?
I definitely have most of them. I know I have Cheap Trick, Blondie, Styx, Donna Summer.
I had them all except
Probably a
for,
Quiet Riot.
yeah, Quiet Riot's the one I didn't have, but everyone I knew had it.
Yeah.
And so
I feel like everybody I knew had Queen too, but I didn't.
yeah, so Queen's Night at the Opera and Cheap Trick, I had them, but I did not purchase them. My babysitters left them at my house, and so I played them all the time.
Well, then you had
Then
them.
Culture Club. Have you ever interviewed Boy George?
No, I have not. Did I? Now I'm wondering. Maybe I
I
have.
feel like I saw you at a
thinks I might
Culture
have.
Club concert. Was
I
that
was
you?
at a Culture Club concert. That
Was
I
it the
know.
one at the Chicago Theater?
I feel like it was at the House of Blues. Was it? Everything feels like it was so long ago. It's so
Yeah.
hazy. I don't remember anything was.
I thought they were so good. And you
Yes.
forget how many hits they had.
You know, I saw at the Chicago Theater that I really loved was Simple Minds. I forgot how many great songs they had too. Oh, I loved it.
Okay, give me other than Don't You Forget About Me.
Now you're gonna put me on the spot. Oh my God, I might have to Google because every song that came up, I'm like, oh my God, I love that song. I'm having a total mind.
Other than Don't You Forget About Me, which I feel is simply
in fact,
red.
that's not
No,
even the best.
That's
Mind songs. Oh, Alive and Kicking. That's a great one.
Alive and Kicking. That is a good one.
And
Something
there's
about
more that I
they have a
knew,
money
though.
song, don't they?
What?
Don't they have a song about money in the title?
I think you're thinking of ABC.
Maybe I am.
I don't know.
Or
That's
maybe
just
I'm
a good
thinking of
era.
Simply Red.
Yeah.
What is this man's name? Stuart, Gaspard, Clem, or Cornelius?
Probably
is no wrong-
Cornelius.
yeah,
it could
there-
be any of those, really.
There are no wrong answers.
Yeah.
Which tastes better? Salvador Dali's painting Swans Reflecting Elephants, or beef chow mein with mushrooms and green stuff?
I love the green stuff. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with the beef chow mein.
Would you rather cry tears of gold or
Aw.
tears of goldfish crackers?
I'd rather have tears of gold.
Right. But that kid is so cute.
He's so
I
cute.
feel bad for him. I want to give him
Yeah.
a hug. I need a
Aw.
hug, though. You know what, kid? I need a hug. Okay.
Yeah.
Who wore it better?
I'm gonna say Big Bird, but boy, she's close.
Yeah. Who wore it better?
That cat is something.
Right,
I mean, I'm still not entirely sure that is a cat.
I'm not.
don't know.
I'm not sure it's a cat
What?
either. It's like a cross between a cat and a weird
It kind of
dog.
freaks me out. I have to go with the dude only because his mustache freaks me out, but the whole animal freaks me out. I don't know. I don't know what that
And there's
is.
the wall. There's the big butt.
More than the butt. Is it?
For being someone to have this as my first album,
Yeah.
which horrified my mother when I opened it up. I actually didn't see the movie The Wall until I want to say I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
You see what? Because I was too
Right.
young. Or maybe I was like 15 and it was on like USA Network on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Or something, like how they would play the rock stuff. Let's see. I told you that I have your autograph, your first album. Oh, what was your first album? Oh, you said the Monkees.
Yeah,
You showed me your tattoos.
I did. Well, one
don't
of
have
them.
any
The other ones
tattoos.
I'm not showing you.
Kara, what should I get as a tattoo? I don't have any.
I like the yin yang sign. That was the first one I got, and that's on my hip. I love that.
Yeah.
It means something to me. I think yin yang is a
Almost
thing.
got my stepdaughter's like name after she died, but then I was like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
just
names are I did get a tattoo with my daughter on her 18th birthday. We both
You
got foot
did?
tattoo
Oh,
flowers
how
on our
many do you
feet.
have? How many do you have?
I have the yin yang on my hip. I got the flowers on my feet. I got this, and then I got a cool one on my shoulder. That one actually didn't hurt at all. The foot one really hurt.
I
Especially
have
in your
nothing.
toe.
Yeah,
That
I have nothing.
hurts.
I just never, I mean, I'm not
I never really wanted one.
anti-tattoo,
I mean,
but
I got my first tattoo in my 40s. Only because I couldn't. I always knew I liked the yin yang, but I couldn't figure out where I wanted it. And even when I got it, I didn't let the guy, like, he told me where it should go, and I'm like, move it here a little bit. And I still regret not listening. He was right, because he's a tattoo artist. He knows where stuff should go.
yeah.
So the rest of my tattoos with the same guy, I'm like, you do what you want. And
None
I've
on
been
the
happy with
back or
everything he's done.
anything?
What? Yeah, the back of my shoulder. I have a
Okay.
huge. That one's cool. It's like a sunset. I don't think it sure won't show it. It's like a fire sun type thing that he made up. Like, I just
Yeah.
told him what colors I wanted and what I liked, and he did it.
Behind you. What do we got? I see Adamant.
Oh, yeah, that's autographed, but I never did. I interviewed him a couple times, but on the phone. I'm not sure what that one is. It's Blind Melon poster.
What do you ask Adamant?
Um,
You say, will you strip
gosh,
for me?
so long ago. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I didn't ask him about. I did not ask him about any of his emotional, mental struggles that he's
I
had,
didn't
because
even
he's
know he
had
had
some
those.
issues. And
Don't all
that was,
artists though?
yeah, the
I
first,
mean,
well, but it got pretty bad for him. He also had
oh,
a really bad stalker, and I
oh,
knew that about him, but I didn't ask either of those things. And that was during a round of interviews. They did a lot of radio stations, and the person that arranged the interviews called me and said I was his favorite interview because I didn't go there.
oh,
And I'm like,
good.
that's none of my business. I don't even
Yeah.
see why anyone would. So then he asked for me to interview him again. Like, if it was awesome, like, Adam,
Oh,
can
very
you ask
cool.
for
Oh,
me?
so he enjoyed that. Yeah, yeah.
I just don't. When I interview people, I'm not like trying to dig up dirt.
No, okay. And so this is one of the reasons I'm sort of like anti-celebrity. Plus, I got to tell you, in the pandemic, they started to trigger me. I was getting triggered by like celebrities, which was like, what is what is this? What is coming up for me? And I think a lot of it is just that they have a lot of money and they have a lot of comfort. And I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, and then being out here in LA and delivering food to some of the big houses and some celebrities. And if you were to see how some of them live, I don't think that you would be so willing to, you know, make them number one at the box office. That's all I'm saying. It's just, it's
Yeah,
a bit
I don't
much.
know. I have no problem with people having stupid money. I just would
Yeah.
like to be part of that percentage.
Right. And that's it too. And so it's just like, it's not that I don't know. I find myself during the pandemic being triggered by things that
Yeah.
didn't bother me.
Well, what
before.
annoys me is when someone who lives like that complains about, I can't go anywhere, I'm stuck home. Like, well, yeah, if you're stuck home in your 20,000 square foot mansion and a pool,
Right. Like the
get out
poor
the
people
violin.
in a
I get it
rental.
that no one wants to be stuck anywhere, but
Right.
it's
Like I
still a
haven't been able to
little bit
be in a
better.
pool for over a year. Where
Yeah.
if you have an estate and a big mansion, you have a pool in the backyard or you have the ocean, you
Right.
know. And so that and
I set up a
then
baby pool in my backyard last
oh,
summer.
I love that. I
And I
think I
floated
saw
in
the
it.
photo. I think I saw it.
It
And
was
then
like
like
therapeutic.
any of the pop culture sort of like gossipy stuff, like I can't, I don't, maybe I've just had my fill. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, because when you work in radio,
Yeah.
you have to swallow so much of it and read so much of it. So that, but then like someone like, okay, I really like Madonna. I've always liked Madonna. I like her music. I don't care so much about how she
Yeah.
looks or her boyfriends or any of that stuff. But I had to unfollow her too. And not like in a snotty way, but it was like one of her posts and she's like, release what no longer serves you. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
goodbye. And not in a like, I'm better than you, Madonna way. It was just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see
I like the artists that are just giving us a
anything.
peek of their life. Like Tommy
Right.
Shaw from Styx is awesome. He posts about his dogs all the time. You know,
Right.
and like there's a dude, I can't remember which Motley Crue guy, but he's posting about how he's in Wyoming right now. Like that's the stuff I like. Ralph Covert, you were just talking about today. I was watching him on Facebook doing a Facebook Live with all the cats he's fostering. Like,
Oh,
that's interesting.
fantastic.
You know,
I didn't even know that. I see,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I just don't want to follow these people, not because
Yeah.
I think I'm better or or superior. It's just I can't take it. And then even though I know better than to compare my lives to theirs, because I know we live in different realities, right? You just live it. They have different expectations placed on them. I have different. It's just I can't, like, it's started to bother me. Like I became more sensitive during the pandemic than I had ever been in my life. And so I feel like maybe it's PTSD, something. So I just was like, Sorry,
Yeah.
Madonna, I can't. Like, and not that I always liked her for like the music or the lyrics or the things that she would say in interviews, and not so much for like, although I did like her concerts. I always enjoyed those. They're very, have you ever been to a Madonna? I mean,
Yeah, it was great.
it's a lot. She has a lot going on. It's worth the expensive
I
price.
feel like anybody who disses Madonna has never been to one of her concerts, because you can't. Just like Prince. When I took my now ex to see Prince, he was more of a rock dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I go, if anything, you're going to love his guitar playing, but you're going to love and he was like blown away, like absolutely
and
could not believe what he was seeing.
I went to Love Sexy 87, but then one was in the round. What year was that? And what album? I can't remember.
I haven't seen him in the round.
It's Rosemont, somewhere in Rosemont.
The last time he was here, is it in the round when he's walking around, or you're?
No, it's his stage is literally like, let's say you've got Rosemont. Did they still call it Rosemont Horizon?
It's the Allstate Arena.
Allstate Arena. Yeah. So you've got the playing field or whatever, the gym thing. They've got the stage in the middle. So the entire.
Okay, the last time I saw him, that's how he had it.
Yeah. And so either you're close or you're far away. But
oh my gosh, he did "Do Me Baby" as the encore. I couldn't believe it. That's like my favorite Prince song.
"Do Me Baby" isn't it Belle Biv DeVoe?
No, that's a different one. No, "Do Me Baby." It's definitely a Prince song.
Alphabet Street, Pop Life, and Seven are my favorite Prince songs. Those are my favorites. Okay, and then go ahead. Go on.
I was gonna say old school stuff like "I Want to Be Your Lover," "Controversy."
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
very good.
I don't like.
And so, so Prince is your favorite. Do you have a favorite female or woman? We're not supposed to use the term female anymore. Did you know that?
No. Why?
Yeah, apparently we find it offensive.
Why?
I don't know, but growing up, it's like it never really offended me.
I mean, female to male is like woman to man. Like it literally, it's the same word with two different letters in the beginning.
I just read a whole thing where we're supposed to be offended when someone refers to us as female. Yeah. But I'm not offended. So
no, all right.
Now I'm being given reasons to be offended as a woman.
Like I don't have on the side, and some people don't want you to say master bedroom now. You're supposed to say the main bedroom. And I have a hard time doing that. I'm like,
master bedroom, because of it's like a plantation.
Yeah,
master.
but that,
see, and I don't.
It's not what it means now, though. That's why it's frustrating.
It loses what it meant, and most people don't even realize they're saying it. So so like if you're calling someone female, you don't think that you're being offensive.
I guess you are if they're binary or
if you said master bedroom to me, I wouldn't go there.
Right.
But you're right. You have to say main bedroom. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for telling me. See, there's things, right? I think
it's hard to keep track.
Right. And most people don't realize that they're saying something that's offending anyone. That's not their intention.
No, and that actually means a lot. To me, it's offensive if someone says it purposely. That's
right.
when you should be offended.
Right. It's when someone doesn't know any better, and it's just because of their they mean no harm.
Back to the ladies. I know I love Deborah Harry. I love Sheryl Crow. She's great. I'm drawing a mind blank right now. I like Edie Brickell's popping in my head only because earlier we were talking about, I used to work at a radio station up in Clare, Michigan, and they handed me this new song to play. Get it on the radio right away. It's going to be a hit. I'm like, all right, who is it? Eddie Brickell.
Oh, was it What I Am?
So yeah. Like Eddie. Okay. So here's Eddie Brickell. And then I played it and it's a woman singing. I'm like, I think it's Edie. I'm like, you know what? I think it's Edie Brickell. So it took a while to actually get the name right.
Were you in radio when Sinead O'Connor or Avril Lavigne? I mean, how many ways did we hear Avril Lavigne's name?
My first day at the mix, that's one of the first things I said was, you're saying her name wrong. And Rihanna, like, which is
I get that one. I still get that wrong. I still get that wrong. And I know better. It's Rihanna.
Yeah.
Not Rihanna.
Yeah.
Or is it Rihanna? Oh no.
See, I know, like Avril. I think it's Avril, but Avril sounds right. I get lost sometimes.
Sinead O'Connor, Avril Lavigne, Rihanna. It's Rihanna, right? Oh.
When I was in high school on the radio, I said Inks for In Excess.
Oh,
There's Inks. Oh my gosh, I had made so many bad mistakes.
Poi Dog Pondering.
Yeah.
What would be some other ones? Felco. Trying to think of who else has interesting names. But yeah, you've had to do all any like one hit wonders that you went, what happened to them? Because that happens so
Actually,
often.
one of my podcast episodes is with Mr. Zero. Do you remember that song, Switch into Glide? Great
I had
song.
the 45. Switch
The whole conversation is about that. Like it's the whole backstory. It's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
It's like a behind the song, like a
Yeah.
VH1 type thing. He was great to talk to.
I had the 45 of that. That was one I picked when I went
when you would have had to flip it over then to get to the next song. Hey, Judy.
That's true. You're
Yeah.
right. I did. And what record? I want to say Arista.
I used to know too with my 45 is what they were on because you always stared at it.
You could just see, right? And you remember like the Casablanca, how that picture, and then like a Motown was easy. That was blue, and right, and you would have whatever the on the spine.
Yeah, like Queen, We Will Rock You, We're the Champion. Same thing. It was like split.
Yes. What 45s did you have? Can you think of any off the top of your head?
Oh, I had so many. I used to love 45s, and a friend of mine got a jukebox, and I gave them to him, and I'm so pissed off that I did that. I must have been not in my right frame of mind. Anyway, so God, I don't remember. I know I remember having Let My Love Open the Door, Pete Townsend.
Mm-hmm.
That was on a 45.
No, but I had Better You Bet.
Yeah.
I had that on a 45, and I had so many 45s. I mean, every week I could get one or two, and they were only like $1.25 or something. Remember?
But I preferred albums even back then because
really,
all I did was save my allowance to buy records. That's why I have so many. It's all I did, and back then they made sense. The songs in whatever order they were in, it was kind of like a play. Like there was a reason why they were ordered that way. A lot of times they had the lyrics on the the album sleeve, which I love. That's why I used to know lyrics of songs. Now I don't know any.
So then you had to switch over to cassettes, right? Remember? Mm-hmm. And then cassette singles were like I would buy them sometimes, but no. Okay.
If anything, I would use cassettes to record the radio.
So when you got your first CD player, what was the first album that you replaced?
It was actually Momentary Lapse of Reason, Pink Floyd, just like you had your first Pink Floyd record. Mine was
isn't that weird?
It was that, and I want to say Yes or something. There was another one. Oh, Ice House.
Ice House. Give me a
Ice
song.
House. That God, I'm having a mind fart too. I can't think of the name of their song, a hit song, but at the time it was a hot song. It's a really good album actually. But yeah, at the time I worked in radio when we started getting the CDs out in the late 80s, and I had to say,
Don't Dream It's Over? That's not Ice House.
No, that's Crowded House.
Crowded House.
But that's a great song.
Yes.
You're on the right track. It's a house.
Yeah. Love can make you weak. Who sings that one? That one's also Crowded House, right?
Yeah, I think that.
Make you run for cover. That's
I have to Google now because you're
sorry.
I can't not know. What are we looking for?
Ice House. Give me one of their
songs from Ice House.
Yeah.
I talk better than I type.
It's okay.
Oh, Electric Blue's a good one. That must have been it.
Electric Blue.
Yeah, 1987.
Sing me some. Electric Blue. It sounds.
Yeah.
Electric Blue. Do
do
do do.
Yeah.
Do 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 do.
Yeah, it's actually being that it was an early CD, it just sounded so good because I hadn't really had anything that sounded that good. So
I think my first CDs, because I had cassettes and I had records, but once I switched, I got Purple Rain, right? You got to replace the album with the CD, and that sounded good. Then I got Sapphire, and I listened to a lot of dance music and R&B and stuff, so I don't think you'd remember her. And then, here's the third CD. I remember this. Samantha Fox.
Oh, yeah.
I got that CD. So I remember that. And then, like Phil Collins, and then you start buying CDs like crazy. But those first couple like that. Now, did you have like a portable CD player?
No,
it have components?
It was not portable. It was very expensive. I mean, I can't even believe I bought it. It was a couple $100 because, when it first came out, I think the CDs might not have been too expensive, but the CD players definitely were.
Yes. Yeah. I had a component, like a whole, so I had pieces and stuff. All right. Well, you're fantastic. Is that your dog or your cat?
A cat. That's where'd she go? Where'd he go? Oh, he's left. Okay, yeah, it's Ambrose.
Ambrose. That's a sweet name.
I didn't name him, but
so happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Thank you for talking to me. You're on WLS now.
Yeah, 94.7 WLS. I'm also on classic rock format nationwide middays. Yes. So, right.
And did you have a favorite and least favorite 80s song?
Favorite, the song that comes to my head is Situation. I just love that song.
Yeah.
I haven't played that in forever. And anything Prince, obviously. I don't know if there's anything I don't like. I didn't used to like playing like Father Figure from George Michael because it's long and slow. Generally, I don't like playing slow songs anyway, but especially if you're tired on the radio, it's really hard staying awake during that
Yeah,
song.
and it's a long one. It's like 4.5 to 5
Yeah,
minutes.
if it was 3 minutes, it'd be fine. It's
Yeah,
too
it
long.
is a very and it takes forever to get to the post.
And I like George Michael. I'm not even dissing him. It's just that song for some reason.
Yeah, I agree.
don't
But
know.
we both like Monkey.
Yes.
And I won that at the dance. It was freshman year. And I was dating a guy for 2 weeks. His name was Patrick Lally. Nice Irish guy. And we went to the dance. I think he broke up with me at the dance. But anyway, there was a dance contest and I won. And I won the 12-inch, because remember records, 12 inches, like remixes.
Yeah.
George Michael's Monkey, the 12
That's awesome.
And I won
I used
that.
to have a lot. I think I do have a lot of 12-inch remixes in my collection actually, because it was a while where I was a club DJ. I did it in college. I did it
That's right.
in Chicago too, and like Rosemont.
In real estate and lingerie model.
Yes.
And
We won't even get in details. Just let people wonder about the lingerie model part.
she's done it all. Yeah, she did it all. Oh, you're my favorite, Cara. You are my favorite. You are the rock goddess. So I mean, Prince. I don't know why I would have thought maybe Metallica or something.
I love Metallica. I don't know why. I just for some reason it's Prince. I mean, there was a long time in my career I couldn't play Prince. It wasn't really until
just
now.
the format.
I mean,
right, whatever
when he
format
died, we played him, and then we played him a little bit, but not really that much. Like at LS, he's one of our core artists, which is great.
Oh, and then I showed you my book. Let me grab my book because you said you have all the rock biographies, right?
Yes, I do. I collect them. I don't necessarily read them all.
I got rid of all of my rock biography books and all that stuff, but I kept this.
That is so cool.
And
I don't have that.
I made my mom drive in the snow on December 24th of 1984. And
Christmas
it says,
Eve.
"This is mine, hands off," to get this book at, I think, B. Dalton, or I can't remember what it was called. I feel like it was a B. Dalton store. We almost got in an accident because the snow was so bad.
Ooh.
And in here, I have magazines. Do you remember the rock magazines? I'm sure you used to get
like
those,
Cream,
right? Yeah. And then this one was Best of Rock magazine. And then I used to get Rolling Stone.
Mm-hmm.
So I had kept.
I used to get.
Look at this.
Spin.
The cigarette.
Yeah.
This is October 25th of 1984. And I have in my wallet, not that I'm a huge Bowie fan. I mean, I was for a point in time. But like when he passed away, I was kind of busy. I hate to say that, but I had a lot of family stuff going on.
Yeah.
So his last album, I didn't actually listen to till way later, like 2, 3, 4 years later, Black Star. And I kind of like learned more about that. But in my wallet, I have a review of Bowie's Tonight album, which to me, I really liked. It had Blue Jean, Tonight with Tina Turner. Most people don't call it one of his best, but to me, I was, 12 or 13.
Right.
So to me, it was a big deal,
Yeah.
that album. And, everybody has their taste. And I have a review from, do you remember TV Guide would do reviews of movies and TV shows and records? And I have it I keep it in my wallet because the reviewer it was ascribing intent onto Bowie, saying, "Bowie, this is a throwaway album and Bowie knows it."
God.
My little 12-year-old self wrote, "How do you know what he knows and what he doesn't know?"
Right.
Is what I wrote.
Exactly. I've been asked to review concerts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll talk about it. I'm never going to say it was a bad concert. I might say there was an audio problem or something. I know how much work goes into writing music, recording music, playing it live, touring.
That's why,
there's so many people.
Musical artists work hard.
You know?
They do. It's like the actors and TV. I don't know. But I'm kind of like, I'm done. But again, I can't follow any of them. So like, again, like I used to always watch, check up on Madonna and stuff, and like nothing against her. It's just, I'm just not, I'm taking a break. Maybe that's it, is I'm just taking a break from all the pop culture stuff and all of the influencing and all of the, and just sort of deciding if I want to do this, because I don't know what my future holds, it's
right.
And
well, it's also a time suck, social media. big time. For me, it is. Because I'm
is.
sitting, this is where I broadcast from. So I'm sitting in this room by my computer all the time.
All the time.
Oh, I'll just check Facebook real quick. An hour later, I'm like, oh, that's right. I was supposed to start working.
Yeah. I don't do Facebook anymore either because I was having mental breakdowns. I was like seeing like, hey, here's your ex-boyfriend and his family, like that kind. I was like, no, I do. So I'm done with the only thing I do now is Instagram, and it's a very tight. You're one of them, but it's very tight. And it's people that I can communicate with. That was another thing. I don't want to be peering into the lives of people, like the parasocial relationships. That was getting to me too, because I was making comparisons that were unfair for me to make comparisons. Like I'm never going to have Madonna's body. You know what I mean? No matter how much I work out. So like, it's like, I can't. And like I really like Miley Cyrus, couldn't follow her. It's like, I don't want to follow anyone that's with a blue dot, I guess. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, it kind of depends what content, a lot of those celebrities are look at me.
And a lot of it is
some
staged.
Aren't, because it kind of makes sense. It would be that way actually, if that's what they want attention. But I don't know. I like some of the stuff that's going on social media. Like I've been watching Soul Asylum. That's a band I love. It's more of a 90s band, I guess.
Yeah.
But they've been doing these great live Facebook performances.
See, that's cool.
It's just cool stuff, and whenever there's a live performance, they're usually talking, just more casual. It's not, and honestly, if you look at them, they don't look like they're rich celebrities either.
Right.
It's I like that stuff.
I don't want to feel bad about myself anymore. And so if I'm looking at this stuff, it starts to make me question why I'm not there. And then I go, but you're not supposed to be there. And even though I know better, I start to do that. And so it's
the stuff about social media, especially Facebook, that got to me was just all the political arguing. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
You'll never see me do that. So I just unfollow. If it's really like threatening, then I'll unfriend. But usually it's just really annoying. Even if I agree with whatever it is they want, I'm like, but I would not say it that way. I would not insult someone like that. And to me, it's when my parents voted, they never discussed it. Like I remember going into the, with behind the curtain with my mom as a little girl, and she's like, no one ever has to see what you do. You never have to tell someone.
She's right.
And I have a feeling she
forgot that
my dad. That's probably why she told me that.
No, we forgot that as a society. I actually got in a fight with my father because he voted for Trump after I had been collecting signatures for Hillary Clinton. And I was so angry at him, I cut off his cell phone for 3 days. And then I had to sit there and go, are you going to be this kind of person, JoAnn? That's that petty that you're going to cut your father off? Because my father voted for reasons that make sense to my father.
Right.
Whether I agree with them or not, it's my father's vote. But I was so like, how could you, did you not, but my dad is that generation. And when he sees Trump, he sees something different than what I saw.
Right.
So I had to kind of like eat it, which was hard, but and I 3 days later, I turned the cell phone back on, but I was so mad at that moment. I was like, what? And then I did lose a girlfriend early on. And then I went, but I still talk to her children though. So it's fine. And I went, are these political views worth me losing my friends? No, but people get very passionate about it.
Yeah.
So I'm now at that point, right, where I'm like, you know what? You're doing it for reasons, people do things for reasons that have nothing to do with us, but the way the brain works, sometimes we take it personally,
Well,
the
it's
ego.
funny I'd say the way the brain works is I minored in marketing and advertising in college, and there's something called selective perception and selective retention. That's why both of us could watch the same debate, we could watch the same news program and come away with two completely different views of it because of our own views. And you don't even know you're doing it. It's not even conscious,
Right. And so you have to check yourself. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are.
Right.
Right. So that's exactly.
No, but that's why you see people that break up, all guys are jerks, all women
I
are
do
psycho,
that though.
Well, it could be that all the guys you're dating are, which I can say for me, pretty much.
I will generalize when it comes to men. I am the worst about that. I'll be like, I hate you all. Here's a study from 2014 that say all men are idiots who do stupid things. Harvard study from Oxford University. Sometimes I'm a bit much, but I've been through a lot. So, but yes, I hear what you're saying. And of course, right. You blame everyone, but truthfully, that it's not everyone's fault. But right. So that's so fantastic that you did that study and you learned that. Right. We see completely different things because we live in different realities and different expectations and everything else. But you, from what I'm seeing, you're a beautiful woman. You are a rock goddess. You are to me, like the best radio lady in
Aw.
all of Chicago throughout the history.
Oh,
Do you have a
geez.
spot at the museum yet?
You need to get into management and radio so you can
But-
hire me. And I mean,
Honey, I tried. They wouldn't let me. They kept giving me like putting me over in traffic reports. And I'm like, what? I have all this. It's fine. But I'm out of there now. But I want you at the Museum of Broadcast. I want you to
Okay.
have a spot on the
you
wall.
start the petition.
You and Wendy Snyder.
I love Wendy Snyder.
She's
I
like
like her.
she is the one who has really been
Yep.
able to surpass all the BS.
And she can pivot. I mean, she's done rock radio and talk, and you know, like she can do so much.
Yes, she really, really, really can. And I worked with her husband. I only worked with her like a
Jimmy's
few times.
awesome. I saw where is it? That's John Paul Jones is glaring it, but he was with me at that show.
That's fantastic.
That was fun. It's probably last time I saw him, so it was a long time ago. But
yeah,
so was it fun?
You and Wendy, we got to have like spots for the radio ladies in Chicago at the museum out there. And we'll do that if they ever open the museum again.
Yeah.
All the museums are closed, which has also mentally screwed me up. I was like, what? I don't want. I love you. I hope your kids are good and the cat. And
thank you.
Happy Easter. And thank you for talking to me on the Women Are People show.
Yes. I want to go water skiing now.
Okay.
Behind you.
Oh, there's another one too. This was a postcard that I liked so much from like some Wisconsin ski thing that I had it's very over pixelated, but that it was it had to be. And I went, I don't care. I love this so much. So it's very over pixelated or too pixelated.
You can't tell on Zoom though. It looks fine.
Exactly. And so it's very big. And then there's a second one that goes here where it's another woman skiing and she's in blue.
Nice.
So I just loved it so much. And it brought me joy every time I looked at it. And so I went, I gotta blow this up. I'm gonna take these eyelashes off.
That's so funny. I tried to put fake ones on. I couldn't do it. I gave up.
No? It's really hard. I have the things that you learn.
Amazon, they have everything.
So when I become the rock star, the drummer for my band of grannies, or it could be like dudes and chicks, I don't know. But I think like a bunch of grandmothers, right? That'd be hot. Like the old go-go's. No, the went-wens. Instead of the go-go's, we'll be old ladies. I'll be the drummer, and we'll be called the wents. Because we don't need to go. Oh, we've already gone. Right. So that's what we'll be called. And then you can interview me from
awesome. I'd love to.
Gons or the go-go's wents. We're the wents. Our lips are sealed. Okay. Mwah. My lips go out to you, my love. Merry Christmas and Happy Easter. And thank you for being on the Women Are People show.
Thank you. Women Are People.
This did record.